In Nigerian politics, power rarely moves quietly. Sometimes it retreats, sometimes it waits, and sometimes it comes back knocking not at the door of the past, but at the gates of the future. In Kogi Central, something unusual is happening. An incumbent senator is settling into her seat, testing her voice, asserting her presence. And just as the dust begins to settle, a former governor, a man who once commanded the entire state, signals his intention to return, not to the government house, but to the Senate. 2 names, 1 district, 1 seat. But this is not just a contest of ambition, it is a collision of memory and momentum. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan did not arrive quietly. Her emergence was symbolic for supporters, a disruption of the old order. For critics, an uncomfortable challenge to political tradition. She speaks with confidence, sometimes confrontation. To her base, that is courage. To her opponents, it is provocation. Yet, politics is unforgiving to symbolism. Once elected, ideals are tested against reality. Representation is measured not by promises, but by presence, influence, and delivery. And as her time in office unfolds, conversations in Kogi Central are becoming more probing, not hostile, but curious. Then enters Yahaya Bello, a name that needs no introduction in Kogi politics. Former governor, party enforcer, a figure associated with structure, loyalty, and political machinery. For some, he represents experience and control. For others, he embodies a chapter they believed had closed. His interest in the Senate seat is not accidental. It is deliberate, calculated, and deeply symbolic. Because Kogi Central is not just any district. It is politically alert. It remembers, it rewards, and it punishes. Elections here are rarely won by noise alone. They are shaped by networks, by quiet negotiations, by who controls what long before campaign posters appear. This is why the battle is already underway, even without rallies, jingles, or debates. Behind the scenes, alignments are shifting. Old allies are reassessing. Power brokers are counting strengths, not sentiments. Meetings are happening away from cameras, where influence speaks louder than applause. For Akpoti-Uduaghan, the strategy leans on visibility, voice, and the power of incumbency. For Bello, it is reach, recall, and the weight of an established political structure. 2 very different approaches. But elections are not won by strategy alone. They are won in the minds of voters, where memory competes with expectation, where the past is weighed against the promise of the future, where voters ask quiet questions they rarely say out loud. Is change loud, or is it effective? Is experience reassuring, or exhausting? And most importantly, who truly understands this district? This Senate race is not just about 2027, it is about relevance, about control, about whether Kogi Central wants continuity, or a recalibration of power. For Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, victory would transform her from a moment into a movement. For Yahaya Bello, it would mark one of the most consequential political returns in the state's recent history. And for the people, the choice will determine not just who speaks for them in Abuja, but how loudly their interests will be heard. The campaigns will grow louder, the rhetoric sharper, the stakes higher. But for now, the most dangerous part of this contest is not what is being said. It is what is still being planned. In Kogi Central, the silence is not empty. It is strategic.